Hi Miriam, thank you as always for uploading your pictures, and excellent. Okay, looking forward to jumping in. Just a nice, like I always look over the whole portfolio, just to, you know, the whole. It's really a whole package what I see when you go on a shoot. It's not about the one picture anymore, although that's also important, but it's also about the whole feeling of the shoot, and there should be a lot of like variety and just energy in the overall picture, and there is. So great. So let's jump into the boring stuff, which is sometimes kind of interesting. Let's just look quickly, and I'm very excited that you've nailed this. 1 second. It's hard to nail this. It really is hard to nail this. It means if you did nail this, that means, and it looks like you did. It's looking pretty good. If you did nail it, then it means that you really, really understand photography. Okay, so let's do it. Let's work it out. Let's see. 1 second. Let's bring up a pad. Okay. And let's look at the first picture, which is a 1/4 of a second. It's at f/16, and it is at 1600 ISO. Oh, we've done it stupidly. Sorry. 1 second. Okay, so now the next picture we change, we go to B, let's bring up the pad again, and now we've gone to a 1/30th of a second, to f8, to 3200, and then the next one, just do this 1 second, bit backward way to do it, anyway. The next one, excuse me, the next one is like this. So let's write this down. A 1,000th at f2. This looks really good, by the way. Miriam looks really, really good. Okay, so let's look. From a 1/4 to a 30th is how many stops? A 1/4, it goes an 1/8, then it goes a 15th, then it goes a 30th, a 60th, oh, it went past it, an 8th, a 15th, a 30th. Okay, so that's +3. Okay, then the next is a 16 to 8. So we know that the cheat for that is if it's by aperture, if it's double the numbers, it's 2 stops. So you've done plus 1 second. You've gone from 16 to 8, so you've added 2 stops. Very good. And by your ISO, you've gone from 1600 to 3200, which is, so this isn't plus, this is minus. Thank you. Sorry. And this is +1. Great. Perfect. 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 And let's look at the next one as well, which is from a 30th to a 1,000th, that is -60, 125, 250, 500, 5. That's 1,000. So that's -5. And then from 8 to 2 is again, that's two stops. That's 4 stops. So that's +4. And then we have at the end +1. You nailed it. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Very, very good. And we can see, just to look at the effect is this one has the quickest shutter speed, the widest aperture, and the quick. Excellent. The fact that you put a fan in there as well was a fantastic touch as well. So you can explain everything for all your pictures. You've got the very shallow depth of field. You've got the relatively frozen blades, and here you've got a longer depth of field with the blades being blurrier. And you've got the longest depth of field, which is this one. Excellent. Really, really, what you should give yourself a big pat on the back for that, because that's to nail that without any mistakes, and to make sure that every single one of the stats was different is a big kudos out to you. Okay, into the photo shoot. You're using a T5 with 50mm lens. Excellent. Okay, 2.5. The picture, first off, is a drop underexposed according to my monitor. I would just increase the exposure just slightly. Maybe it's just my tastes. I would do that. You've done a lovely job on the edit. Okay, I can see that you've softened the skin. I think. I mean, I hope. I'm assuming this is. Otherwise, he has really good skin for a person. Anyway, so you've softened the skin. Have you brought out the eye? I don't think you've done too much with the eyes. I'm not sure, but there's definitely been an edit here. You've definitely softened the background further as well. This is great. This is a great shot. In regards to balance wise, I think it could do maybe with a little bit more room on the right, or to be more turned so that I would just like this area here is a little bit dead. So our eye isn't really using it. So if so to speak, you tilted the camera drop, maybe that's just me. The light here is beautiful. Got gorgeous, soft, delicate light just rimming off the side of his face. It's really long lit with an edge from the short side. The images are great. You nailed the focus at 50 millimeters with your camera. You could for sure get away shooting at 1.8. Stats are perfect. Like I said, you could get away with 1.8, but if I was taking the shot with my camera, I would definitely be using 2.5, maybe even 3.2, or even or 3.5. Even sometimes f4 to get both eyes in focus. The depth of field really is noticeably longer on the crop frame cameras. That's one of the things you're going to enjoy when you get, eventually get a full frame camera, is that the depth of field is much shallower. Makes a big difference. So anyway, so in your camera, you would be able to get away. I think you'd have to test it, but I'm pretty sure you'd be able to get away with a 1.8. Okay, but everything this is good quality professional photography. Especially the fact that you're using a Rebel and a basic lens, you've nailed it. This is great. You have become a talented photographer. Okay, onward. You softened his skin again. I appreciate that. I can tell that's not as good a job as it is over here. This is more subtle, but I don't think an untrained eye would notice that. You can see you sharpened a little bit his teeth, I think. One thing that we could do to improve this immediately, and whether or not it was improvable, I'm just telling you an issue with this image, is that it would be nicer to have a brighter rim, a brighter background for him to pop out. We've learned, or have you learned in class 5? So you're going to learn about the idea of background should be comparable exposure and different color. The point is that this is a little bit underexposed, so the background is, and he's got a darker, his hair is dark, so he doesn't pop out to the level that it would be more effective if he was to be popping out fully. I appreciate that you left some room at the top here, because his eyes are drifting up, so the composition is lovely. I might think about cropping in a little bit. Let me see, maybe 1 second. And then I might even do like a funky crop like that. I'm not sure, let's have a look. No, it's weird doing a picture like that. But I would maybe crop in the team a little bit. Maybe. Okay, good shot anyway. Nice solid shot. Again, the stats. Stats are good, but you could be at 1.8, which could give you a little quicker, although 320 is great. 320 is great to be at, but you could be at 1.8, which would, although that bokeh is nice, it would still, that's the goal, is the widest aperture. Okay, that's a cute shot. That is a cute shot. It looks like you underexposed it. It's underexposed. I would definitely bring out some more clarity. We might take this one into post, but this has got like, the actual subject's got a lot of, so maybe we could squeeze that out. Nice, good attention paid to the directions. Okay, this is a little flat. The actual image is beautiful. It's very soft. Again, a good edit, nicely composed, in close. This time you really nailed the back. You really nailed the stats. Those are perfect. Again, pat on the back. But it just needs a little bit more contrast. It just needs to, in my opinion, just like pounce a little bit. Just literally slide the contrast. I don't know if we're going to take that one in, but I think that would just energize that to the point, because it's an energy shot. You know what I'm saying? He's energized, you know. So let's go. Remember, the word is trying to see the picture, work out what the one word is: excited or relaxed, happy, whatever it is, the one word, and then like try and slam it home with the editing. If it's excited, make it really excited. If it's relaxed, make it really relaxed, etc. Okay. Not a fan of this shot. Sorry, man. Don't like this. It's very flat. I'm not into the. It's off. You missed the focus. Did you miss focus? I'm such a focus snob. It's out of control. Yeah, look, the focus is over here. So he's not sharp. It needs just more. It could be, the truth is, if we took it into post, it would be quite easy to really, maybe we should bang this one out. Let's have a look. That's also cute. Let me see if I can do these two very quickly. Like, very quickly. 1 second. When in doubt, just cancel. Excuse the time this is taking, sorry. We'll burden it together. Or bear it together. Bear the burden together. Okay, let's put also this one in as well. Let's import both. Okay. And let's see what we can do. So I'm basically thinking the same thing for both pictures. I want a lot of, let's just jump in. I want obviously a lot of contrast. I want the whites white, I want the blacks blacker. I don't want to lose. Now his face is quite dark as it is, so it could be that I'm going to have to jump into the paintbrush, into the brush soon. Let's have a look. So let's put this here like this. Yeah, let's jump straight into the paintbrush. And I'm not sure exactly what I want to do here, so I'm going to just paint over here first. And now I'm going to see which one's going to work better. The contrast. That was pretty good. And the clarity. Yeah, there we go. Wow, look at that. Look at the difference. Okay, and now we need to brighten his face. So use another what's it called? Another pin. Here we go. So this is quite dramatic. This is quite heavy editing, you know, we're making a big difference here. This is great. Yeah, this is lovely. Okay, and I think I want to do the same thing. Thing is, if I do the glass, let's see what I can do, because you can actually, let's see if we can just add a bunch of clarity and try and stick in. We're going to go on to auto mask, which finds the lines, and now we're just going to look. It should be if we press O and we look at what we're doing. Oh, that worked great, didn't it? It was meant to be that it stops in the lines. I obviously didn't do that because I wasn't looking very much. It's still acceptable like that. Let's just have a look. That's great. I'm also going to crop in, because that's going to add to like the cheeky factor, because this picture's got a high cheeky factor. I think you're aware of that. Super cheeky. And I think I'm also going to I want to bring more attention. The truth is, I actually like what just happened there. That's just put the clarity up super high. Maybe we'll do that as well in a minute, but let's first invert. Just press H so you can see the pin, and let's put the exposure down the drop. No, I'm not sure if that's the right thing to do. I think I'm just going to leave that. I think, can you patch key around more with that? Maybe. I think you could. But look at just see the difference here. Let's just get rid of the pin. See again that the foundation's great. It was a great picture. Everything's good. And just to try and look into it and think, where do we need? We needed obviously to see the face. That's obviously the most important part of the eyes. This had a very high graphical content, high level, so we wanted to squeeze that out as well. And we drew attention to this as our character. So you've got the energized eyes and the cheek with obviously with the glasses, and then the energy coming from this stripy contrast, and it ends up really pushing you over. Let's just look at this picture again. You know what I think we're going to do actually? Oh no, because it was all done with pins. We'll do it again quickly. I'm going to do this just very quickly. The actual subject doesn't kind of, I just would much rather see a kid's face, to be honest. But you see the same thing that we did in the other picture, we can do over here. This actually turns it into quite an interesting picture by itself. We could put the blacks down a little bit, and that'll darken the lines, and put the whites up a drop. Wow. Yeah, that's quite an interesting picture, I think, in its own right. That's actually that really demonstrates a point of just the kind of, what's the word? I describe it as sherbet. When you eat sherbet, you feel certain. There's an experience to it. So we have those. That's what happens with sight as well. We're not trained to think of it like that, but that's really how it works. Is certain visions or visuals create experiences and emotions within you. And this is a great example of a high content, like emotional value in a piece of graphic. That is it. And look at the difference. Great. Okay. Anyway, you're doing fantastically, and keep pushing along. Just also wanted to let you know, I've been saying to everybody, from the feedback that we're having. Let's keep it on this one second. From the feedback that we're having and from the results that we're seeing, we've decided basically to change everything, and it seems that it's a much more valuable. I think you realise, everyone we've spoken to, not everyone, but at least 2 people have said to me, or 3 people maybe, that it's underpriced. So if you have any friends who are thinking of doing this, then it's a good idea to tell them right now to jump in, because probably in the next couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks, it's going to be vastly more expensive, basically, and the whole thing's going to change. Anyway, keep up the good work. You enjoy the course as it is, and looking forward to seeing what you do for us next week. Okay, bye.